The lights flicker on. You reach for your phone, turn up the heat, boil water for coffee. These simple acts, repeated billions of times daily, reveal one of our era's most invisible inequalities. Behind every kilowatt, every gas pipeline, every solar panel lies a story of who gets to power our world. Picture this. In rural India, a woman spends 4 hours collecting firewood. In Texas, a petroleum engineer reviews drilling reports. In Norway, a policymaker designs renewable energy transitions. 3 women, 3 continents, 3 radically different relationships with energy. The common thread? They're all navigating a system designed, built, and controlled predominantly by men. And that's costing us more than we realize. The numbers are staggering. Women make up just 22% of the global oil and gas workforce. In renewable energy, supposedly our progressive future, they represent 32%. Walk into any boardroom of a major energy corporation and you'll find a familiar picture. Suits, ties, and an overwhelming sea of male faces making decisions that affect 4 billion people. This isn't just about fairness. This is about survival. The relationship between energy and gender isn't just about who works in the industry. It cuts deeper into the very fabric of how societies function, who has power, and who quite literally has power. Energy poverty affects 1 in 3 people on Earth. Sounds neutral, right? It's not. Women and girls bear the brunt with devastating precision. That woman in rural India collecting firewood isn't taking a morning stroll. She's performing unpaid labor that consumes 20 hours of her week. Hours she could spend learning, earning, building. Her daughter joins her, missing school, perpetuating a cycle that energy access could break. The smoke from cooking with solid fuels kills nearly 4 million people annually. Most of them? Women and children. Meanwhile, in the gleaming offices of energy giants, decisions about infrastructure, investment, and innovation happen. Without these voices at the table, when women represent less than 1% of CEOs in major energy companies, who's thinking about the women breathing toxic fumes? Who's designing solutions for the girls missing education? Who's calculating the real cost of energy poverty? The plot thickens when we examine energy transitions. The world is shifting toward renewables, away from fossil fuels. Sounds promising. But here's the twist. If we're not intentional, we'll simply rebuild the same inequalities in green infrastructure. We'll replace oil rigs dominated by men with solar farms dominated by men. We'll swap gas executives for battery executives, all making the same exclusive decisions. Consider the irony. Studies show that women are more likely to adopt clean energy technologies, more concerned about climate change, and more supportive of sustainable policies. They're the early adopters, the change makers, the ones already modifying behavior. Yet they're systematically excluded from designing, implementing, and profiting from the energy transition. The offshore wind industry is booming. Jobs are multiplying. But women hold fewer than 5% of technical positions. Solar installation teams are overwhelmingly male. Electric vehicle design teams? Same story. We're building the future with half our talent pool sitting on the sidelines. Here's what keeps energy executives up at night, or at least it should. This isn't just morally questionable. It's economically catastrophic. Research reveals that improving gender diversity could add trillions to the global economy. Companies with more women in leadership show better financial performance, increased innovation, and improved risk management. In an industry facing massive technological disruption, climate pressure, and geopolitical instability, can we really afford to ignore half the world's problem-solving capacity? The barriers are real and systematic. Energy jobs often require technical degrees where women are underrepresented. The industry culture remains notoriously masculine. Fieldwork locations lack basic facilities for women. Harassment goes unchecked. Flexible working arrangements are rare. Maternity leave is inadequate. And perhaps most insidiously, there's the persistent myth that women aren't interested in energy careers. But scratch the surface and you'll find women pioneering renewable technologies, leading community energy projects. innovating in efficiency solutions. They're just doing it against tremendous headwinds, often invisible to the mainstream narrative. In sub-Saharan Africa, women-led cooperatives are revolutionizing energy access through microsolar initiatives. In Iceland, female engineers are advancing geothermal technology. In Bangladesh, the Grameen Shakti program, heavily involving women, has installed millions of solar home systems. When women are empowered as energy users, providers, and decision-makers, transformation accelerates. The connection between energy access and gender equality creates a powerful multiplier effect. Give a community clean energy, and girls stay in school longer. Literacy improves, health outcomes improve, economic opportunities expand. Women start businesses, communities thrive. It's not linear, it's exponential. Yet the energy transition, touted as our great hope, risks leaving women behind again. Fossil fuel job losses disproportionately affect communities where men hold traditional breadwinner roles. Yes, but the secondary impacts hit women harder. Reduced household income, increased care burdens, limited retraining opportunities. In male-dominated renewable sectors. So what's the path forward? This isn't about charity or quotas. This is about fundamentally reimagining who gets to shape our energy future. It's about recognizing that energy isn't just a technical challenge. It's a social, economic, and deeply human one. The energy system we build today will define the next century. Will it perpetuate inequalities or dismantle them? Will it empower or exclude? Will it reflect humanity's full potential or just half of it? This is your moment to act. Demand diversity from energy companies. Support women-led clean energy initiatives. Question who's absent from decision-making spaces. If you work in energy, sponsor a woman colleague, challenge exclusive cultures, redesign recruitment. If you're an investor, direct capital toward gender-inclusive energy projects. If you're a consumer, choose providers committed to equality. If you're a student, enter this field and change it from within. The energy transition is happening now. The question isn't whether we'll transform our power systems. The question is whether we'll transform who holds the power. Will you be part of writing a different ending?